Hey guys, welcome back. It's Sona, and today I have my current foundation routine for you guys. I do have another video that I'll link down below if you want to check out my old foundation routine. It hasn't changed that much, but I have changed a couple of my products, so I hope you enjoy the current one, and let's get started. So it's really important to moisturize your face really well, especially if you have dry skin, because if you have a well-prepped skin, your foundation is going to stick so much better, and your foundation is actually going to last a lot better that way as well. So today I'm just gonna go ahead and use Too Faced primer, and this is the Hangover. I'm just gonna go ahead and massage this primer into my skin and really concentrating just on the center. This is a pretty hydrating primer, I would say. It almost feels like a moisturizer when you apply it. Your tools are very important when applying foundation, so make sure you have a really good kabuki brush, because a kabuki brush like this will make sure to make your foundation look really natural and seamless. I have been using this F80 kabuki brush by Sigma for years now, and I absolutely love it. I haven't changed it. Every now and then I will change it and use something a little bit more tapered. I also like to change my foundation every now and then, but lately I've been loving the Chanel foundation, and this one is in number 30. This just looks really natural on my skin. It looks beautiful and it covers all my imperfections. So this is just what I'm loving at the moment, but I will list every foundation that I also love down in the description box. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply about 2 pumps. I like to just dip my brush into the product. So first I like to just apply the color, and then if I feel like I've applied too much, then I'll go ahead and blend it in place. Circular motions, just like that. Usually for my entire face, I end up using about 2 to 3 pumps. It just depends on if it's like an evening, going out, makeup, then definitely 3. But if it's during the day, then I'll get away with just applying 2 pumps. Don't neglect your neck when you're doing your foundation. Bring the brush down to make sure that your neck matches your face. As you can see, this foundation is very dewy, so if you have really oily skin, you might not like this foundation. I would definitely recommend maybe the Vitalumiere Aqua or something a little bit more matte, but this one is pretty dewy. I think it's great for dry skin. So when it comes to the forehead, you just want to bring it to the sides to make sure the side of your face is well covered. So as you can see, I'm leaving around my eye area bare because that's where we're gonna go ahead and apply the concealer. All right, foundation is done. We're just gonna go ahead and conceal, and today I'll be using Naked Skin by Urban Decay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make little dots just like that under my eyes. And make sure to get the inner corners as well, because you want to highlight and conceal the inner corners. So then you want to run the applicator just like that on top of your nose, and then make a few strokes just above center of your forehead, and then just a few on your chin. So you want to apply it under your eyes, a little bit on the center of your forehead, top of the nose, laugh lines, cupid's bow, and the chin area. When it comes to blending the concealer in place, I like to use either F86 kabuki brush by Sigma, and this is a small tapered kabuki brush, and whenever I'm not lazy, I'll definitely use this because it's small enough to get in the inner corners and really blend everything in place. But for every day, I have to be honest, I just go ahead and use the same F80 brush to really blend everything in place, because I just feel like it's easier to use one brush. Again, I like to just dab the product into my skin and sort of blend it at the same time. You want to go back to your kabuki brush, and obviously your kabuki brush is going to have a little bit of your foundation left over, so this is what's going to help the colors to kind of blend in together and make it look super natural. So you want to just make circular motions starting from your chin area and really blending all these colors together. When it comes to the under eye area, you don't want to go too high up. You still want that brightness to appear on the inner corners, but around this area is where you want to really blend this color in place. We're gonna go ahead and set this makeup in place, and when it comes to setting your under eye area, you have to use a really light color. And I like to just use the Laura Mercier pressed setting powder, and it's really lightweight and it sets my foundation and my concealer in place, and it doesn't really move throughout the day. So I like to use a brush like this, so a very tapered brush, and then just get some product. You don't want to drag it, you just want to gently press this into place. Again, just apply it by pressing into your skin, just like so. And then I like to run this also right on top of my nose and around the center of my face. This is where I get oily, so for me, I only like to apply setting powder around this area. So in terms of highlighters, you can experiment and try different ones each time. Lately, I've been really liking Butter Pecan by Too Faced Cosmetics, so that's what I'll be using today. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit on my brush, and then again, dab on the high points of my cheeks and take it up. So far, I've applied the highlighter on the high points of my cheeks, just around this area and my brow bone. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit above my eyes, just a little bit, because this is gonna give you a very dewy finish. And the tip of my nose, and a little bit right in between my eyes, right in the center of my forehead. Again, this is just gonna make your skin look really dewy. And of course your Cupid's bow for that beautiful highlight. And this is gonna make your upper lip appear a lot bigger. All right, so for contouring, I'm gonna go ahead and use number F05 brush. And this is great for contouring because it's really nice and tapered and it works very well. As for the bronzer, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my typical bronzer by Too Faced, and it is the chocolate bronzer. So the way I like to contour is starting from the top of my ear, I like to just go down in that direction. I like very, very subtle contouring. That's the whole point. You want it to be so subtle that it brings out your features and it doesn't make you look like you've got harsh lines everywhere. So again, a little bit of product goes a long way. And you want to just go back and forth very lightly and make sure you're blending the color into your skin. We're gonna go back and blend a little bit more, but I'm just gonna do the other side as well. Again, starting from the tip of the ear, you just wanna bring this down and blend it. All right, so I have bronzer on the hollows of my cheeks, and I'm gonna go ahead and build this up. So starting from the hollows of my cheeks, I'm just gonna take this up all the way to my forehead. So the whole point is for the bronzer to be connected. You want your features to stand out, and that's why you're contouring and highlighting. So you definitely want this to be as natural as possible. Next, we're just gonna go ahead and apply bronzer on the nose, sides of my nose, just like that. I personally like to apply just a little bit of bronzer right over here, sort of the center, because the bronzer, right, darker colors push things in, lighter colors bring things out. So this is gonna push this part of my nose in, and so my nose is gonna look a little bit more lifted. So I'm just pressing it and making the brush smaller. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and apply the bronzer on the jawline, and this time you want to go behind your ear and take it down, just like this. This is just bringing out your features, so this makes your face look thinner and more structured. Before I move on to blush, I'm gonna go ahead and blend one last time using my kabuki brush. Now, my foundation brush has a little bit of foundation left over, so I like to run the brush right under the hollows of my cheeks, just like that. And this is to make sure that your bronzer looks very natural. So you want the darkness to be right around this area. So the concentration you want to be around this area. And as you get closer to your cheeks, you want to make sure that you have a very light hand. My blush, of course, changes almost every day. It just depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. I'm just gonna go ahead and use one that's in front of me, and it's called Cheeky by Sigma, and it's kind of a peachy color. So for my blush, I like to use a big fluffy brush and have a really light hand. So I like to just smile, and you just want to work this down just on the apples of your cheeks. And then of course you want to blend it up to make sure it matches your bronzer. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more shimmer using like a shimmery bronzer, just like this one. This one's by Urban Decay, but Betty Luminizer is also another great one. I just can't find it right now, and that one's by The Balm Cosmetics. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my blush brush and apply it just around this area. So as you can see, it definitely adds more color. It's a little bit more evening appropriate. So if you want it more subtle, then skip this step, but if you want just a little bit more depth, then go ahead and add it. I also really like adding this on my forehead because it gives a natural, beautiful glow. And you can go back and blend again if you need to. This is my updated foundation routine, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some makeup so we can see the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you wanna see this makeup tutorial, stay tuned. I'm gonna upload it in a few days, and if you're on Pinterest, please share this video on Pinterest because that'll really help me out. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye! I care more about fullness. That's like my thing. I want my lashes to look full and really separated. This one is number 230. It's just a really light color. And then this one is also another favorite because I've been really liking deeper tones.